Hello, my Mercurial mercenaries! Welcome to episode 6,
Oh, carry the 4.
King Krule, the U's. Mercury Music Prize 2018, King Krule, King Krule, King Krule, King Krule, the
King
Ooze.
Krule.
The interesting thing here, Mr. Bill Ryan from New Jersey, is that I've already listened to King Krule's The Ooze as a Discover.
Link
So,
here.
click, yeah, click, click, click,
Link,
click,
but not
here,
but not sexually.
click here.
Not sexually.
Not sexually. So I didn't listen back to it or watch it, so I have no idea what score I gave it. But so if you wanted to know thoroughly what I think about it, I suppose you could just go and watch that Discover, because it's probably quite thorough in what I think about it. Bill.
Yes.
Oh no, okay. Before I ask your opinion, then let me just right. I think what do I remember about this album? I think this band, because I think King Krule is this guy Archie, whatever he's called, but the band itself, they're really, really tight. And I actually just watched a live gig they did. If you get the chance, they've got they've condensed the album into one little live show on YouTube. It's like a 30-minute show where they record it on the moon. Have you seen that?
I have not.
After we do this, seriously, Google it, right? They record it, they play live on the moon, and it's really, really...
That must have been pretty expensive
It actually looks... Really,
to get them up to the moon.
Yeah. It's a big project to do it, but it looks really good.
Tesla
It sounds amazing. That band is tight. This guy looks and acts a bit like Johnny Rotten, and I think he's...
I felt more the guy from Harry Potter with the gold tooth.
Probably. I don't know who's that.
The guy that was dating Hermione.
Hermione.
Isn't that her name? Hermione.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I like not only that I made you say that sentence, but that the internet connection went bad, so you said it in a robot, really slow motion voice. You said, "I didn't know Hermione." It was
unfortunately
my very tasteless, immature joke was worth it for that.
It's brilliant, but unfortunately on this end, I just said it normally. It's a shame, because maybe I'll slow down me saying that. So you're Heine.
Yeah.
Oh. Heine. So tight band. This is trip hop. This is back to 1995. This guy's about 14, 13 years old. I don't know, something like that. He's like a little youngster. I don't think he's old enough to smoke or have a pint. I think he's really good. I really like this. He is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. He's not completely my cup of tea, but he takes me back to a time when I was listening to Portishead and Tricky, and when I was a youth myself, kind of. And for that, I'm grateful. Trip hop had to come back one day, and it's come back. The Bristol sound is back, and I don't think Americans ever really got trip hop. So I don't even know if you know who Tricky is or Portishead. I don't know.
Yeah, I know who both are. The what came to mind more when I heard him was Tom Waits. Jimmy's like, where do you just go and buy 13 different kinds of drinks every week? And
yeah, this one does warn you. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't say warning, high caffeine content.
Warning, Jimmy's a liar.
It also doesn't tell you that you've got to do that with it, but it has, like I've shown you before, it has got. You can see that.
I can't. It's too white.
Like me. We can do this. We can do this. Hang on. Look. That's what this is what you could do, Bill. Right? This is what you could do. This whole look you've got going on, right? If you do something more with the beard thing, yeah, and then get a hat, like a baseball cap, you could be this guy here.
Is that Jimmy Devon?
What's he called? Hang on, he's called
Jimmy Devon.
I had the feeling that Jimmy might not exist. He might be like Colonel Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, Colonel Sanders did exist at one time.
Bollocks! Did he? Are you sure?
He was a real man. Yeah.
You don't make me Google it, Bill.
Just like Joey Hamburglar was real. He was a real guy too. Him and Yeah, Joey Hamburglar and Snuffleupagus would do robberies back.
Mr. Hoffenopoulos, Mr. Papadopoulos, Mr. Papadopoulos. I like King Krule's album. I like him. I don't think I'd get on with him. I don't think we'd ever have a pint together. I think I'd want to probably slap him, but not sexually. But I think this album is class. It goes on for too long. I would give it a bit of a trim. But I think overall, I like the fact that he's brought back a genre of music that I think, how much do you have to shake a carton of coffee? Probably
I
not
think it's
at
ready.
all.
I'm just saying. I think it's good.
Hey, the colour's right. Look. Oh, look. It's what did you think of King Krule's The Ooze, Bill?
I went between two worlds. There were songs that I loved, and then it went from like great to bad. Bad may be a little strong. The note I wrote was, at best, you feel like you're in the middle of someone's dream. At worst, you feel like you're completely sober listening to that kid from Harry Potter with a gold tooth stoned mumbling on about a dream he had. And what I mean by that is when this works really well, it has a very Tom Waitsy feel to me, where you feel like you're in a seedy part of town and you're watching this sort of dream-like story being told, and it's great. The songs that I love, I really love, and I love that aspect of them. When it's not working, you feel like the instruments are out of tune, and he's mumbling about something, and it's strange in that I think I agree with you that this album should have been trimmed. I think if this was a 10-song album, it could have been my favorite album of all that we've heard so far. But I think the fact that it goes on long, it almost shows the magic tricks a little too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs aside, 4 sides. That's a lot of music. That's a lot of music. I mean, although when it comes to me, I suppose this would probably be a double album. Well, it is a double album, but you can level the same criticisms at some famous double albums, can't you? I'd probably trim quite a few famous double albums.
I think he does a few things really well. He does the Tom Waits thing really well. I think when he does the rockabilly stuff, it's a nice sort of counterpoint to it and some punk rock stuff. And I think if he could have cut it and got the best of those. Now, for the first track, Biscuit Town, I really like that song because he got Bill Murray's character from Caddyshack, Carl Spackler, to sing lead vocals. You can't talk like this, like I'm gonna talk like this. I can't do a good impression, but go watch a clip of Carl Spackler from Caddyshack, Bill Murray, and then listen to Biscuit Town. I used to go to Biscuit Town quite a bit, but ever since the baby, I've been trying to watch what I eat because I went to Biscuit Town way too much.
Boom, boom.
But my favorite tracks, like if you've never listened to this album, first go watch Six's discovery of it. But I feel like Biscuit Town, The Locomotive, Dumb Surfer, Subliminary, Check One,
what?
A Slide in New Drugs, Visual, Bermondy Bosom, are my favorite. And some of the lyrics I think are quite good. This is from the Deep Sea Diver. He says, the liquid scenery casts an indigo complexion to drift so carefree, moonlight reflects in the pool of darker times, and to sink to darker measures, submariner seeks pride from depths hard to find, forever waiting, a pool of strange things, its guilt, its craving, discomfort, its quilt, and outside I think it's raining. Why do you leave me? Because of my depression. You used to complete me, but I guess I learned a lesson. Things are even, but don't even out. The deep sea divers in doubt. I think those are some really good introspective kind of paint a picture lyrics. And when he hits that with the music, I think it works really, really well. As a sort of tool in his toolbox, they play a lot of out of tune instruments in certain songs. And when it first started, I thought that's a nice touch, because if you do it in a controlled way, it can add a mood and it can add a brokenness to the way it sounds, and I liked it. But then as the album went along and it kept happening, I said with the Arctic Monkeys that if you're ironically being a lounge band, you're still a lounge band, and if you're ironically being out of tune, it's still out of tune. And I felt like after a while, I thought, okay, boys, can we take 5? And you wonder when they go live if they remember on Pro Tools that, okay, the D has to be flat by 3 centimeters before we get the out of tune that we want. In certain songs, it works really well. I wish I have so many notes because there's 20 tracks that it's hard to see. I think I wrote a couple where I said, okay, the out of tune works well here. I'm not a big saxophone guy, but the film noir aspect of this album, which I love, whenever the sax came in, I was like, yes, I loved whenever he brought the saxophone in. I agree with you in that I think there is a lot that's, I would even say, great on this album. But then when he falls, because he's taking such a chance, and you have to give him credit for that, it really doesn't. And that, again, my first description, when it's really working, I'm visualizing this. When it's really not working, I feel like some kid's just kind of mumbling. Do you know what I mean? All right, and obviously I'm boring you because you're making weird facial things, but
No. Your face just froze at a lovely moment again. That's all. I was just giving you. I was just giving a little nod and wink to the camera. You never bore me, Bill. You never bore me.
I thought I was going on and on.
You never bore me 100%.
What a compliment. I want to get that made into a T-shirt. I never bore 6 more than...
I think that this album is intentionally scuffed up. It's that when I was playing it on vinyl, I realized that on the vinyl there is a vinyl sound. So I've already got the sound of the vinyl as I'm playing the bloody thing.
And then there's a digital vinyl sound.
And there's a vinyl sound on top. So I've got double vinyl, which is odd, right? And I had to go and listen to it digitally to make sure, it's all scuffed up and messy sounding. It's all wavering, warbling. It's out of tune. It's dirty. And this guy is a dirty
If you were going to put on a trench coat and go out in the rain by the smokestacks to solve a crime, this is your album.
I think so. It's grim. He's singing shit from the heart, I think.
Which is funny because he does seem like he sings it from the heart, and he seems like an experienced narrator, but he's like 8 years old.
11 years old.
So it's very
bizarre.
Like,
but then I think, do you
this
think times
have
changed?
Some shit.
I know, but do you think times have changed? Because I think that. Because when I was like 11, 12, 13, 14, I was playing my ZX Spectrum. I was watching Red Dwarf on the TV. I was doing homework, me at school. But it seems like these days,
when I was like 7, I was like, meet me by the 5 and dime, and I saw a prostitute murdered in my prime.
Do you think like these days, like someone like this King Krule, our whatever he's called, do you think like if you get to a certain stage in this kind of new social media age, and you're like a Georgia Smith or a King Krule or something, that actually by the time you get to like 20, you've had to endure like lots of just shit that probably didn't happen in our day?
I mean, I think he's probably rebelled a lot, but I think, and again, I don't know anything about him. This is me listening to one album.
No, I haven't read up on him.
The impression I got was he's a super bright kid that is very creative, and that sort of took his loneliness and his depression and used and was smart and creative enough to kind of draw imagery out of that. And I'm sure he's gotten in trouble like every kid has, and he's done things he shouldn't and been in places he shouldn't. But I think you up it, you exaggerate it. And I mean, I don't want to name albums later that we're going to, but I think lyrically I have a ton of respect because I felt like he had a talent for it, but you also really get the sense that this is something he's actually thinking about. Like, I don't think he's sitting around going, what's going to sell this record? I think he's going, man, I really like this girl and I can't get her, and I really just need to express that. And I like that.
I think if he wanted to sell more records, I think he would have made a different album. This seems like quite a personal album, and
let me ask you this:
who it's aimed at.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt you, but he has such a unique voice, and I don't know if I'd call it like he's like Tom Waits. It's not a naturally, it's not like I want to say Georgia Smith. It's not like he's got a great vocal. I think he fits perfectly in the world he created. I don't know if you cleaned everything up and played a normal song and if he sang it, how well that would work.
We're into that. We're into that thing again of like if you put Archie Marshall
Yeah.
co-production, Dilip Harris co-production, Oh, okay, two people. You got Dilip Harris and Archie Marshall who
Yeah.
co-produced this album. Singular voice, really. If you put Archie Marshall on the X Factor or Pop Idol or whatever, got him
Yeah.
with a microphone and he had to sing to the audience, Simon
Yeah.
Cowell or
Oh,
whatever.
they blew him off the stage.
He's just going to mumble into the mic and everyone's going to laugh at him.
Yeah.
The Bob Dylan thing, you know?
Yeah.
But you put him with this band in this dirty, dingy scenario that this world he's created. And when you watch that video where they're playing live on the moon, honestly, I was blown away by it. They are fantastic, much better than I thought they'd be. I think in his environment, this guy's pretty good. And I actually, thinking about it now, this is you're going to disagree with this, but this is a more real kind of dirty lounge jazz album than the Arctic Monkeys.
No, I agree with you.
I think when it comes to like ordering this, which we might as well just have it. I've probably already put it on the screen along the bottom, but if we have to think about where we put this in here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this above. Fuck me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put this above the Arctic Monkeys because I think this. I'm not sure about this, but I think that this is doing what the Arctic Monkeys have tried to do as a thing. Like for this in his stupid transatlantic stupid drawl that he does. Hi, I've got his name.
You know what's funny, and not to interrupt you, but I talked to a friend of mine who's an American, and none of us hears that. Like to me, he sounds like a British guy. Like I don't, like he's not going like, come on down to the Five and Dime, you see? I'm gonna sing a new song about the new album. I'm the guy from the Arctic Monkeys, you see? Like I don't hear that. I hear a very British. Now it's unique, but it doesn't sound like he's trying. If he's trying to do America, he's an American accent. He's not doing a good job, I'll say.
What he's doing, he's not doing an American accent. He's doing the transatlantic thing. It's hard to replace what that means, but it means.
Well, yeah. Well, the transatlantic, I think of. Yeah, see, go down to the Five and Dime. I'm talking.
No, not that. He's doing that accent that you can't quite place.
Well, yeah, the transatlantic was, and I'm sorry, I'm fixing my notes as I say this. It was invented back because people had regional accents in America, and they created it because they thought to be on a TV program, you don't want to be. It's low class to see where you're from, so they created the transatlantic drawl in order.
Yeah, but transatlantic is all about the crossing of the Atlantic. I think it's more relates to the British bands that came over. And they were like Tom Jones and that, where they come over from here and they develop the transatlantic accent, which is where an English bloke fakes a little bit of an American accent to appeal to you guys because the money is to be made over in America. It's amazing how many bands are like popular here that are really decent, and never made it in America. And like you got Hendrix who had to come over here to get famous to go back over there. And
which is really strange because Georgia Smith, when she's singing, I don't hear an accent. She could be American. And when I hear like Lily Allen, who has a thick accent, I enjoy that much more. As an American, it seems exotic. Whereas if you do the American accent, I feel like, oh, you sound like every other band.
Lily Allen exotic. I like that.
I'm not saying she is. I'm saying sound.
Shh, don't talk about Lily Allen. Shh.
LA.
Right, I'm gonna put King Krule, right? For the moment, second. Now, I mean, or do I put it first? Was everything better than King Krule? Hang on. I think King Krule would have had a chance if he'd have edited his album a bit more. I think he's just thrown everything at the wall and to see what sticks. and there's a chance that that order will be changed in the future. But I'm putting King Krule second. Where are you going to put King Krule?
I like that you fought like over this, and I decided this days ago, my friend. Yeah, same thing. I think, and the only reason I don't put King Krule first is, like you said, I wanted to see him edit his album more. If it was 10 tracks, I think I would have put him first. But I think everything from start to finish is just hit after hit after, catchy after catchy after catchy.
Yeah.
And King Krule, while I would say the stronger moments peak over that, I think because it's just there's too many kind of, I don't want to say filler songs, but it could, a good editor
Cause
could
it's
have
a
made this a better.
filler night.
And no one's gonna tell King Krule that he's gonna edit tonight.
The filler.
So
Oh God.
I'm going everything,
Couldn't hit that note.
King Krule, Arctic Monkeys, Georgia Smith.
Everything
Everything is recorded, and Florence and the trash.
Machine.
I mean Florence and the Machine. The trash compactor.
The trash compactor. That's it. That's
joke.
good. Right now, score it
Oh.
from there to there. It's anticipation here. Whoa.
That is
What's that?
21 or 23 o'clock, 1 to 11 o'clock.
2300.
And let me make this clear, because my buddy was like, so you think everything by putting it that high is better than like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? No, the clock score for me is for
Why do
this
people do
Mercury Award. It's not ranking the greatest albums of all time.
I've had this conversation so often with Mr. Floyd on this channel,
Yeah.
and other people. The idea that if I give something at 12 o'clock, that somehow I'm saying that is the pinnacle, the greatest thing that could ever be recorded, and therefore, if I'm saying that this album's 10 out of 10, where would I put Dark Side of the Moon or Sgt. Pepper? Is that like 11 out of 10? Or do you know what? They can all be 10 out of 10 together, because you've got to use the whole scale. There's people out there who will never, ever, 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 ever give something 10 out of 10. So you've just reduced your scale to 9.
But here's the thing. I'm one of those people, and I
it's
understand
stupid.
this point. And no, Louis C.K. does a thing where he talks about the word hilarious, and he says, or let's say amazing, if you eat some fried chicken and you say, this fried chicken is amazing, what do you say if Christ comes back? Because you've already used amazing on the fried chicken. So what word are you going to use for Christ in the sky?
Well, if according to you, it would have to be a word that exists that you can only say when Christ comes back.
Yes.
So, Christ coming back is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nothing else that could ever happen on the planet Earth in the history can ever be 10 out of 10. So your scale of your experiences,
birth of a child,
the
getting
top
married,
of your scale,
winning
the top
the lottery,
of your scale
you save
is 9.
it for that.
No, they're all 9s then. Because Christ is 10.
I'm saying it has to have an impact on your life. Is your life different after listening to everything? If the answer is no, then don't use the 10.
Hang on. Because I agree with that, but hang on.
Yeah.
The problem with it is there are people who say no album is perfect. No album can ever get 10 out of 10, right? So you can't give anything 10 out of 10, right? So 9 out of 10 is your top mark you can give, but you can't give 9 out of 10, because if you give 9 out of 10, anything better than that album has to be a 10 out of 10, but you're never going to give a 10 out of 10. So that reduces, really, your top mark's got to be an 8, because you can't give it a 9 because that's your top mark. And what happens is your scale gets reduced to an average album gets a 7 and a good album gets an 8, and you don't use anything else. And computer magazines in the 80s would give games. An average game would get a 7 out of 10. It's not a 7. Average is 5.
I just want to say thank you for making my argument about why I wanted to get rid of the clock scale altogether.
The clock works beautifully because the clock system doesn't have 10 points on it.
I think it's time to stop using the clock. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. The clock system is brilliant because I can use it and I can just give something 12 o'clock.
Wait a second.
Brilliant.
Hold on a minute.
And you can keep doing your thing where you can't give a top score because you can just give it. You could give it 23.59, and then in your heart, you know you reserved. You still haven't given it 0.0000 because
the good
that
Lord
was for the
invented
Beatles,
decimals, my friend.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Which is why sometimes you have a five. If you have a 5-star scale like CMVG used to do, computer video games, right? Five star. I think they actually used 3-star in the end, but so you've like 3-star. So give a game 3 stars, 1 of 3 stars. People are much happier with that. They'll happily give. If a game's good, they'll give it 3 stars. If a film's good, 5-star scale. If a film's good, Pulp Fiction, whatever, they'll give it 5 stars. Oh no! How can it get 5 out of 5? That's the same as 10 out of 10. You can't give a film 5 out of 5 because what happens what are you going to give Citizen Kane if you give bloody that Tom Green film? If you give that 5 out of 5, what are you going to give Citizen Kane?
2 things.
If you give Deep Throat,
when you edit this, you need to play inspirational music behind your rant. And I want to say, real quick to interrupt, that this will be the last recording, not the last video. I guess whatever, 2 videos from now will be the last recording in this home because I'm purchasing, we've gotten a new home that I'm moving into that you'll see soon. I'm bringing that up because I believe that you have put more thought into ranking of music than I put in to purchasing a home. Oh, wait, I have an emergency alert. Flash flood warning in this area till 6:30. 6:30 is 2.75 kilometers in British time. It's a great joke. Come on. It's a great joke.
Right. Okay. You gave King Krule 2,300.
Yep.
Did I give it a score?
You did not, sir.
I give it 22.30. 22.30. I give it less than you. And the other thing is, I've already scored this, and I guarantee the score I gave it on the other video will be different to what I've just given it now.
That's what I said. Please, if you're watching this, watch it through and never go back. Never go back to double check things we said and ranks we gave. We're about the future here at the Mercurial number 6 channel, not about the past.
And the 2,500 of you who aren't watching this.
If you're not watching this, you're a real jerk. If you are watching this, this doesn't apply to you.
Those who aren't watching this.
Yeah, but if you're watching this, that's not you. Not you.
Yeah, not if you're watching this, not you.
Definitely not you.
Not you.
No.
Not you. Next, we are going to be listening to the delightful Lily Allen. Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you. You've given your New Jersey. Hey, I'm from New Jersey. Hey,
I'm going to the store.
Hey, I'm going to the store. Hey, I'm going to the store. Over. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, press like. If you didn't like it,
make sure you hit the little bell. Because if you hit the bell,
ring the bell. I always forget that.
Press the will pop up in your ads and you'll know that you can come and watch it.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Hit the bell, mates. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Go look here. Go look here. Go look here. Go look here.
Like and subscribe.
Hey now and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel right now.
But don't forget to hit the bell.
Don't forget to hit the bell. Over and out. Holy fuck.
Oh, shit.